You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 291. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
And I'm Jeff Barnhart, otherwise known as Comic Book Reading Lad.
Comic Reflections is brought to you by The Outhouse. You can find our show and other nifty content at theouthousers.com. And if you enjoy this program, please subscribe to us on either iTunes or Stitcher.
All right.
So today, boy, have we got a fun comic book to talk about, Jeff.
Mm-hmm. Aren't they all fun?
Well, I think they're all fun.
Mm-hmm. But this is funner than most.
This is fun, and it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the fun is like, wow, what a bad comic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And but this one is high quality. We're talking about another Treasury edition, the second of two that starred the Legion of Superheroes, and this is all new collector's edition number C55, cover dated just 1978. But according to Mike's Amazing World of Comics, it went on sale December 15th, 1977, and so it's Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. We've got this beautiful wraparound cover by Iron Mike Grell.
Yeah. Superboy and Saturn Girl, Lightning Lad. I forgot his name.
Cosmic Boy.
Cosmic Boy. Okay. Are kicking butt.
Yeah. On the back cover of it, we obviously see several more Legionnaires: Princess Projectra, Wildfire, Timberwolf, and Mon-El. I think that's who I spot.
Yeah. What's the princess doing? Anything?
Well,
She's running? Okay.
Running? Well, her power is creating realistic illusions, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I love the guns and such. It's pretty cool.
Oh, well, these bad guys are fighting. So they're fighting an army.
Yeah. And they're in front of the Legion headquarters, but this scene does not occur in the comics. The Legion headquarters is attacked, but it's not attacked by an army.
Yeah. Well, DC, more than anyone, is quite guilty of doing more symbolic covers that are sort of like what's the interior.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the spaceship here. I don't like the Legion spaceships usually. They're just very simple and kind of like a kid drew them, but this one looks nice. And what is this? Okay, we had the moon behind Legion, and then we have this. Oh, it's someone. Is this a person here? It's purple mask.
Oh, it's the Time Trapper's hood.
Okay.
I didn't notice that until you just pointed it out. So very good.
I have my moments, few and far between.
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah.
Okay, we have a history of the Legion.
Yeah,
comic book history.
It's on the inside front cover and in the back. I think written by Paul Levitz, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice splash panel with all the Legionnaires.
Yes, I think that's all of the active members, I should say.
Yeah.
Matter Eater Lad, Bouncing Boy, and Duo Damsel are not to be found, and then of course the three Legionnaires who have passed on. At this point, but everyone else,
they all look like they're having a good time. So which is, if they're having a good time, we're having a good time.
The story in this issue is told in 4 parts. It's called The Millennium Massacre, and broken up into 4 chapters, I should say. And it was written by Paul Levitz, penciled by Mike Grell, and inked by Vince Colletta.
Yeah.
Very nice. Open again to a big double-page splash for the first chapter here. We see Superboy flying off from Smallville, and he's imagining the wedding of Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad, which is to take place in this issue. He is on his way to the 30th century.
Yeah, very nice. They have a female priest or priestess.
Isn't that nice?
Officiating, yeah. And I like their outfits there.
Oh yeah, their bridal garments are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad are registered anywhere. A friend of mine who got married said that she wasn't going to do registry, but if you don't register, you're going to get about 50 picture frames.
Yeah.
Because no one knows what people have or anything like that.
Right. So. It's smart to register.
Yeah. It does seem a mercenary and all that stuff, but hey, you want some nice stuff to start your life. No.
Right.
But I guess in the 30th century, they don't need that stuff.
Oh, I don't know.
All right.
So a nice panel of Superboy going through the time barrier and traveling through to the 30th century, and things are different.
Yeah, there's a war going on.
Yeah, and the science police are more like the science Gestapo
Mm-hmm.
with these cool helmets. With this, we're in the like Star Trek mirror universe because they have skulls on the front of their helmets.
Yeah. Yeah, they look cool. Um,
So they
yeah.
explain to Superboy, or do they?
You need you need a password, and
He's like, wait a second, I'm part of the Legion. We have clearance for everything.
mm-hmm.
But they still need it as a matter of formality.
One thing about the marriage, um, balancing boy, and who is this? Oh,
And Duo Damsel, they
what?
left the Legion when they got married.
Is that a rule?
It is one of the Legion's bylaws. I think you can be a Legion reservist, but once you get married, you step down from active regular duty.
Why is that? I wonder. Was they ever explain that?
To my knowledge, they haven't. I think it's basically like look, we got plenty of Legionnaires anyway.
Yeah.
Marrying a couple off here and there, allows other characters to step forward and shine, and it also
Okay.
allows for narrative, an opportunity for
They have a wedding, and
well-
comic book weddings are fun.
well, not that, but to show that there is a history. People join the Legion, people move on,
Mhm.
and it goes on. It's part of the tapestry.
Yeah.
If you have it the same and nobody ever leaves, nobody ever
Mhm.
dies, it becomes stale.
Yeah, which is one of the things, the three heroes who died. And I think it's one of the best parts of the Legion. It's people die in the Legion. This is kind of, and like in real life, people
Yeah.
die and
Right,
they're
all
honored,
died
and they're not
heroes.
forgotten or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm not sure what the comic book reason is. What, you got to be a virgin to be in the Legion of superheroes?
Well, I don't think
I don't know.
that's it, because especially once we get to the 1980s, I mean, it's pretty obvious that certain Legion relationships are very hot and heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So no, I don't think that's it.
As in being snarky, but
Well, right.
maybe. I don't know.
But I'm giving a real
But in
answer
the
to your
50s and
joke.
60s, nobody ever had sex before marriage. It just didn't happen.
Right.
Okay.
So Superboy, these guys are on a flying platform, and
Mm-hmm.
Superboy bends it over them and turns it into a cage.
Yeah.
Good thing they had that guardrail around it to conveniently makes bars, for that.
Yeah, although I would want a guardrail around a flying disc if I was going to be in it. So,
Right. But then he welds it shut with his heat vision.
because he is ticked off.
Yeah, because the science police don't hassle the Legion. Certainly not at this point.
Yeah. Oh, Superboy doesn't want to be hassled anyway. He's a hero.
Yeah.
Plus, it was just, what's with the passwords and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And-
so Sunboy, Cosmic Boy, and Ultra Boy show up, and Superboy talks with them. What's going on?
Yeah, and so why don't you give them your password? And Superboy said, I don't know anything but no password. So so they get in an argument, and all of a sudden they're attacked by Lunarians. Is that what they call?
Yes.
From the moon.
Yeah.
And I like the ground stuff, how it's drawn. I don't like the spaceships. It's just too
Okay.
uncool. So they fight against these guys. They're shooting the bad guys are shooting photon torps or photon torpedoes.
Right.
And they
Sunboy melts one of them. That's
Mhm.
fun.
and let's see, who is this one?
That's Ultra Boy.
Ultra Boy catches one of them.
Yeah. And I'm sure Cosmic Boy uses magnetism on the other one.
Yeah, and Superboy just throws it somewhere so it'll land and they'll be captured.
Right.
So,
So they get back to Legion HQ where they meet up with Princess Projectra.
yeah, this is the first time I've seen Projectra do anything. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, we haven't in the Legion stories we've covered. Sometimes she's shown up and sometimes not, but she hasn't had major roles in any of them so far.
okay, well, she does expositions. So, hey, we've always been at war, and so she shows this PowerPoint kind of thing.
Yeah.
And okay, so and
Do you want to explain what's happened?
okay, in 1985, the UN, no, excuse me, 1978, the UN is dissolved, and everybody lives happily ever. No, um,
Nuclear war happens.
yeah, nuclear war happens, and
And the red,
everybody's fighting.
yeah,
All the planets are fighting. All the people on Earth are fighting.
and the
Um,
red Chinese colonize the moon.
and they steal American ships, and you read about it in the papers, of course.
Who could forget?
Yeah.
I mean, I was a kid, but it was pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they said it somewhere in the story that happened in 1985.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, this comic book was written in 1977, so context. But that's so fun, and that's so fun to think like we thought technology was going to advance that rapidly too,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
somebody did. Wouldn't it
Yeah,
have been cool?
I did.
Yeah.
I seriously thought this time would be on the moon and moon bases and flying cars. I really did. And
Yeah. Well, I think if from the pre-World Wars to post-World Wars, the technological advancements were huge, and we expected them to continue on at that same pace,
Yeah.
and they did not.
yeah, someone's said that this is a sign of our culture failing, and we're not continually increasing. I mean, one thing really has happened is consumer electronics. It's the
Right. Well, I mean,
the cell phone is
Yeah.
better than anything in science fiction at that time.
Right, but post World War II, the military-industrial complex kind of put into motion a system where we have a thing called designed obsolescence. Things are built to be consumed, they need to break down and replaced, not repaired. And so we are a consumer culture, and innovation is only motivated, by and large, by the marketability for consumption. So things that solve big world problems, if they're not profitable, forget it. And so that system has ground much of scientific progress to a halt. Man, yeah,
Okay.
something to think about.
Yeah. So, well, Superboy's confused as well. This never happened. And
Yeah. So the cool thing is, and I mean, Superman. This is kind of dawning on Superboy. In the time between him leaving the 20th century and getting to the 30th, something has altered the timeline. That's why only he remembers things being different. So that is the impetus for this whole story. But
Hey, the sun is red.
is that the sun?
Or is that some kind of heating thing?
I'm not sure. I mean, Superboy has his powers, so it's not a
Yeah.
thing. It can't be a red sun because Superboy would lose his powers.
Yeah. I love the background here. I guess it's a wall, but it's
It
spackled or
looks
something.
looks like static, like an old television.
Yeah, it's a very good effect.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, I think I wonder if that was probably achieved with duotone, which was an effect the artists used.
and still use. Well, they still draw. So.
Yeah, not as much. I mean, it was a thing you overlaid on the original art pages. Duotone and zipatone were things like that. Wally Wood used those things a lot.
My friend who's a
Ditko used
cartoonist
it too.
does that. I mean, to make a shadow or
Yeah.
something or pattern on
Yeah.
a dress or something.
Yeah, it's very effective. Also in black and white comics, I remember Ditko used zipatone and duotone quite a bit when he at his work at Warren Publications for Creepy and Eerie.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some neat stories. The stories that made me a Ditko fan. It wasn't
Okay.
a Spider-Man.
Wow. They plan to have the attack is defeated,
Yay.
and let's go have a wedding. So we have a wedding with a big 2-page spread, and it looks nice.
Yes, and also writer Paul Levitz and artist Mike Grell are included in this drawing.
They photobomb it. They're
Yeah,
in the beginning.
they're facing the reader, which is fun.
I thought it was too much. They should be in the background and sort of like, hey, we're right here. So,
Yeah, well, they didn't do that. So
yeah.
it's funny, in both Legion Treasuries. By the way, this one is not a reprint. It didn't appear in a standard-sized issue. This is an original story for the Treasury format. And,
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
really. some treasuries were reprints, and some had new material, and some were a mix.
Oh, okay. All right.
But of course, we have all of the Legion, and of course some friends like R.J. Brand, and I think Nemesis Kid is there, and I think the Legionnaires and the subs are also there as well.
Mm-hmm. There's Bouncing Boy.
Yeah,
Good.
and his bride duo damsel as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's nice. The wedding of Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl is very nice. No sooner is the ceremony completed, though, but they're attacked again by the Lunarites.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're in a war. So get married. So let's take a cruise, and they cruise somewhere and they get captured. Duh. I mean, there's a war going on. Shouldn't you be?
People still get married during wartime.
Yeah, you get married, but you don't take a cruise. You don't get on your yacht and go in the Atlantic Ocean during World War II. You'll get sunk by a U-boat. It's just, I don't know.
Space is bigger than the Atlantic Ocean. Maybe they thought they could get away.
Yeah, but still, there's a war on. You know, it's sort of...
Okay.
Couldn't they go to the Grand Canyon, or does Niagara Falls still exist?
Well, and here's the thing. That stuff may be... For one, it may not exist. It's the 30th century. And two, that's kind of boring and ho-hum for two people who aren't from Earth.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, Saturn Girl is from one of the moons of Saturn, and Lightning Lad is from Brawl. I'm pretty sure I'm already wrong about that, but in fact, I know that's not it. But he's one of those planets.
Mm-hmm.
I love how human beings exist on multiple planets in the galaxy.
Yeah, and some of them are a little bit different, but they all look the same. Chameleon Boy is the one that looks the most different. So it's,
yeah,
you know, and
the Chameleon Boy, the form that he shows with the antenna and the orange skin, that's not the true form of Durlin's. It's kind of like how Martian Manhunter was also a shapeshifter.
Yeah,
he chose a form that kind of he thought humans would accept, that was kind of between his own Martian form and humans, but he still looked very alien.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. The superheroes, the super Legion of Superheroes, sees this attack and says, "Oh man, we gotta go save them."
So they fly into action. I love how they all can fly because of the flight ring.
Yeah. Yeah. Carrying people around is, I mean, it's nice as Superman to carry somebody, but it looks kind of goofy.
Well, then the X-Men, they'd always have Storm carry somebody, and it's like, being able to fly, this is really good and lets us get on with it. This is something the Legion have up on the X-Men.
Yeah.
Or over on them.
So they attack, but the Lunarians or whatever, they're ready.
Yeah, the Chinese, which is so funny. Because on the cover you look, oh, it's an alien race. Oh, wait, no.
Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Right?
So they're kicking Chinese butt. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So.
That'll teach them to manipulate our currency.
Yeah.
No.
Make cheap stuff. Really cheap.
I am kidding, of course.
So they cannot harm the ship. So they try to following it, and there's a deadly radiation trail.
Yeah. Now, which Legionnaires are in space? Okay, so Wildfire.
Most of them, it looks like.
Well, yes, but particularly I think we have Mon-El and Wildfire.
Superboy.
Yeah.
Princess Projectile.
Now, Wildfire, of course, being there's Timberwolf. Wildfire being a being composed of energy. I think he tries to absorb the radiation. But I think it's too much. He can't do it all.
Yeah. But the thing is, you leave a trail in space. It can only be so wide since space is infinite. Go around it. What's so hard?
Right.
And you can go parallel to it and see and follow it.
Or is because it's in space, who is to say that the radiation would not be so spread out or so dispersed as to not affect anyone?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I actually don't know the full extent of how radiation would work in the vacuum of space.
Yeah, neither do I. Okay. I'm not too bright. So.
I mean, solar radiation, I'll use it as an example, radiates outward in all directions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, But the closer to it you are, the more radiation you're going to get. They're hot on the trail of this ship. Okay, the radiation is a real danger. Okay, so we scienced that one real good.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Wildfire gets angry and said, let's go after them. And we know they come from the moon, so let's go to the moon. But wouldn't the trail get in the way? Okay.
I don't know. Wildfire also is Legion leader at this time.
Yeah.
They hold elections, and he was elected.
He would be the one I wouldn't vote for a leader.
Wildfire manipulated the results.
Wow.
Yeah, and he didn't get booted from the Legion for doing it.
What, did they give him a pat on the back for his ingenuity? Or what?
I can't remember. It's a bit Kobayashi Maru, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Wildfire, he is kind of a lovable jerk.
Yeah.
He's the Guy Gardner of
and kind of Wolverine as well.
Well, Timberwolf, if you think about it, it's really kind of the Wolverine. But I think Wildfire's characterization is a little bit of 1970s Wolverine. You're right. I like Wildfire more than Guy Gardner, I'll tell you that much.
I like Guy Gardner getting his comeuppance. I enjoy that.
Well, because he's such a blowhard.
Yeah. I like him okay.
But despite his attitude, when there's a job to do, Guy Gardner, he kicks butt like everybody else, and he doesn't shirk away from his duty.
Right.
Gardner's a complex character.
Yeah. He's not bad. I enjoy him. I don't know if I read some Guy Gardner comics and stop.
Some are better than others.
Yeah.
He is pretty brash and pretty full of himself. But when the chips are down, you can count on him. And I think that's the mark of a true hero. He's one of the most fascinating characters in DC Comics, especially particularly of the Green Lantern mythos.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the Legion. Sorry, I got on this tangent.
Yeah. Superboy says, hey, let's not go all half-cocked, and we need to figure out why this is going on. And we had this war thing, and we didn't, in my...
in the Legion that I remember, when last I was here, there was no war. And Wildfire tries to override this, like, no, I'm Legion leader, and I say no. But Shadowlass gives him an earful, and he says, fine, we'll split off into teams. Superboy, you can take a group of Legionnaires to the past to investigate. A few Legionnaires will stay behind and protect headquarters, and the rest of them are off to follow and pursue the Lunarites, who have Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl captive. Whew.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I didn't have to explain that.
Well, I do my best. At least I didn't. What I didn't do was list all the Legionnaires in each group.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Because there are 23 active Legionnaires in this story.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, but I have trouble saying who's who or Oh.
It's a big group.
Okay. Now that's the end of the chapter. Now here is the next chapter, Murder by Moonlight.
Yes.
Pretty cool, big panel with
we're looking at the Lunarites moon base, and it's totally rad. Plus, it's a moon base.
Yeah. Where's our moon bases now?
All right. However, okay, so Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad are taken before the leader of the Lunarites.
Who is a Khan.
Yes, of course he is.
The Khan is a Mongolian word. So, the leader of the Chinese Empire would be an emperor.
Well, maybe a lot of things have changed since the 20th century to the 30th. 1,000 years.
I guess so. And he looks really evil, and so
and he is.
He is holding them for ransom, and this. What he wants from America is icebergs. So, in order to get these two superheroes back, America will have to send icebergs in outer space to the moon because the moon is so desolate they needs water, and an iceberg will do that.
Okay.
Why don't you just buy it?
Yeah, with that moon money. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
But hey, comics.
Yeah.
So of course, Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl lash out against this guy.
Saturn Girl says you're lying. You're going to have us killed. anyway.
And the bad guy backhands her,
Yeah.
which pisses off Lightning Lad, and so he zaps him.
Yeah. And so that's a cool fight. I love him bowling over the guards here. That's really well drawn.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, this is great. I want to say I believe this is Mike Grell's swan song with the Legion,
mhm.
and which would be taken over by Jim Sherman, who, as artist, he illustrates one of the backup features in this issue, or the main backup feature. We'll get to that later.
I like the bad guys' uniforms. So,
Yeah,
or what there is of them.
I was gonna say there's not much to it, but they really come across like Ming the Merciless and his minions from Flash Gordon,
Yeah. So they
which
steal
I'm sure is no accident.
right. So the two steal a cruiser. Lightning Man takes one of the minions and throws him and says, "Give this creep a head start to that airlock." Oh, okay. I thought he was killing him, but no, he's going to the airlock so the guy can go in for safety.
Right.
We have a war on, and I like wars that I want to participate in, but but this war nobody dies.
Well, the Legionnaires, it's in against the Legion Constitution or the Legion Code to take lives.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Starboy was out of the Legion because he killed in self-defense for a time. He was out of the Legion before being reinducted years later. There was a story we covered at once where Element Lad was going to kill the man who had wiped out his entire race, and he risked being expelled from the Legion.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff.
Yeah. I understand why they do this. They don't want heroes killing people. But this is real life. You're going to have to kill bad guys sometime.
Well, yeah.
And the Superboy doesn't kill people, or Superman. I guess he killed Doomsday, but...
Yeah, they both punched each other to death.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it hardly counts if you both die. And then subsequently...
according to this, he would be kicked out anyway if he came back because he killed somebody. As in self-defense.
Right, but that's Superman. He's out of the Legion for a long time at that point.
But,
and that's post-crisis, so that Superman was never part of the Legion.
Mm-hmm. Sad. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lightning Man does some fancy flying and he escapes. I love the intricate maneuverings shown here, and it's really neat. Really, really well done. Show what they did.
And a lot of great movement. Yeah. Also to note, Lightning Lad, unbeknownst to Lightning Lad, they figure it out. They picked up a cruiser with that was low on fuel.
Yeah, and they don't have much air because the Lunarians don't care about their sailors, so don't give them much air. Which
okay.
Well, it's a huge cruiser. I mean, how much air do you? I mean, there's got to be a lot of air in there.
Oh well.
Okay,
so we go back to some of the Legionnaires who are in pursuit of Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl's captors. We have Wildfire and Dawnstar.
Mm-hmm. And Timberwolf.
No, that is Ultra Boy.
Ultra Boy, excuse me. Okay.
And Colossal Boy and Cosmic Boy.
Okay. They get there just after Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl make the break. So they can't find them. So now they're mad. So they're going through all this stuff, the whole base, and trying to figure out where they are. And let's see. Dawnstar is using her powers to find them, and she doesn't feel where they are now.
Right. She has tracking abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that she is able to fly in outer space without a spacesuit.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of her power set.
All right. All right. So she says she can't find them. And
Lightlass gives her a bunch of
because
a hard time.
Lightlass is Garth or Lightning Lad's sister.
That's right, so that's Ayla Rands, and she of course is consoled by her boyfriend Timberwolf.
Mm-hmm.
She lashed out at Dawnstar just because she's upset,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. That's sad. So
a lot of
the
drama in the Legion.
yeah, there is. The Lunarians attack again, and we go back to Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl, and so he said it's gonna be a slow, awful death. So let's kill ourselves.
Yikes, that's creepy.
Yeah, and then they kill themselves, and then help comes. It's like the end of the Mist, the movie The Mist. You never seen that?
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Thanks for spoiling it,
alert.
though.
Yeah, well, you don't want to watch it anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm joking anyway. They're rescued just in time.
Oh, good. Phantom Girl phases through the cruiser and
Yeah.
stops them from committing suicide just in time.
Okay, all right. As a superhero, and I've been around a while, I would wait till the very, very last minute because how many times, just in the nick of time, someone is rescued?
Every time, ever?
Yeah. So I wouldn't jump the gun or something.
Yeah, so the two of them are reunited with the other Legionnaires,
Mm-hmm.
and they're happy, but of course Wildfire is still pissed. About what?
Oh, about Superboy leaving and going to Earth.
Right, in the 20th century.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And he's really mad. He is super villain mad. He's
Yeah.
waving his fist, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So we're going to take a quick promotional break because we're at the halfway point in our story, and when we return, we will finish with we'll carry on with chapter 3.
The end of the world is approaching. Soon the planet will be engulfed in a nuclear Armageddon, and the only people that can prevent this from happening are considered to be the greatest villains of all time. The only thing standing in their way is the Justice League. In 2005,
Wait a second. Are we sure about that date this time?
Yeah, it's 2005. We're sure this time.
Let's just be perfectly clear. I hate all of you so much.
Okay, good. Got that. All right.
In 2005, DC Comics began publishing a 12-issue bi-monthly comic called Justice. Written by Jim Kruger with art by Alex Ross and Doug Braithwaite, this series was essentially a Super Friends for adults. And now another group of Super Friends has come together to discuss all 12 issues in a podcasting crossover called JL May 2017. The excitement begins on the April 30th episode of the Fire and Water podcast and continues into Supermates, the Idlehead of Diabolou podcast, Views from the Long Box, the Pulp to Pixel podcast, the Lantern Cast, the Shazam Cast, Comic Reflections, the Silver and Gold podcast, the Power of Fishnets, Waiting for Doom, and Justice's First Dawn. JL May 2017. Last year, they covered the beginning of the Justice League. This year, they discuss and review the League's toughest battle. The coverage begins on April 30th on the Fire and Water podcast, located at fireandwaterpodcast.com.
You are about to see the first public exhibition of an entirely new form of entertainment. You are about to see.
Because you demanded it. It's Treasury Cast, a podcast devoted to the greatest comics format of all time, the Treasury Edition. DC, Marvel, Archie, IDW, and more, bigger than life. It's the Treasury Cast, part of the Fire and Water Podcast Network. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, and on fireandwaterpodcast.com.
And we're back. On to Chapter 3, The Twisted History Mystery, featuring Superboy, Brainiac 5, Sunboy, Monel, Shadowlass, Karate Kid, and Princess Projectra.
Yeah, that's cool. Great splash panel, 2-page with New York City in the background and the time bubble in front of it. Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Oh, poor people. Man, God, I hated the 70s. Oh, gosh. Okay.
We firmly established that you hated it.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Brainiac 5 is giving some exposition.
Yeah. He figures out there is a time strange flux in the time stream around this year. So he agrees with Superboy. Something happened.
So, and they're going to investigate what it is, but Superboy has to remain behind because he cannot be in the same era with himself.
That's Superman.
Yeah. Right. Because what, they travel back to 1978?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they come out of the time bubble in Central Park, or no, a small park, so we don't know. And there's this bum, and he sees them and runs off. They dress in 70s outfits, so to blend in.
Right. Well, Princess Projectra casts an illusion of them wearing 1970s garb, which is clever, and it gives her something to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And a great 2-page spread of goodness.
Yes, we have in the centerfold of this issue. We have a great 2-page spread featuring all of the members of the Legion and also both versions of their Legion clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first the clubhouse, and then when they got their bigger one, they gave the old one to the Legion of Substitute Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but everybody that's active in the Legion is present on these 2 pages, rather.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Today, 2978 AD, Superboy is holding up 4 of the Legionnaires, and
On a pedestal,
and 2 of the girls are leaning on him. I think it's so cute.
Yeah. He is flanked by Dream Girl and Phantom Girl, and Princess Projecta kind of laid out in the Burt Reynolds on the fur rug kind of pose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it's
what
cool.
is that pose called? Do you know?
Huh? I don't know. Okay. Lying supine on something.
Okay.
But I don't know. I like it when comic book heroes pose for the camera. It's pretty neat, and they're posing for us. And I don't know. It's just.
We agree.
Yeah, it's something that people do.
Yes. We now return to our story, already in progress. No.
Yeah.
So the Legionnaires, they go to the United Nations building, which I have visited.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. It's pretty big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they go to UN and they find out one guy, shadowy figure, meets with 7 other guys they've been following or whatever, and then he's the guy they need to chase. And I don't get how they found this out, but it was kind of confusing.
Comic book reasons. But again, it's because they want to prevent the disbanding of the UN, because that is the catalyst for the nuclear war and all of everything else that causes the change in the time stream.
Yeah. And so they tail the guy, and they do a bad job of it because they're right behind him.
Right. Yeah, they have a very 1970s cars chase, which is...
Man, I swear, in the 70s, if you had an action show, you had a car chase in it. It was almost a contractual. You had to have a car chase.
Well, it was the in thing.
Yeah. And it's something exciting to do. And
sure.
Yeah. But let's see. Who's driving? Is it
I want to say it's Cosmic Boy. Oh wait, no. He didn't go on this trip.
Karate Kid, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Because he's been to the 20th century before.
That's right. He had his own series for 15, 17 issues, something like that.
Earlier, we didn't mention this, but Karate Kid says, I've been in the 20th century, and the history's just fine. What's going on here? Because he was there, and this history, where all the wars start, is his history. So.
Sure.
Oh, so they get the police come. So Princess Projectra, who's in overalls,
They hit it. They get in a wreck. They wreck the car, and the police come.
yeah, and they disappear. The princess does her job again.
Yeah. So then we go back to Superboy, who's flying around in the time bubble.
Mm-hmm. He looks really dramatic doing that.
Yeah.
I like that. And then he's talking to them on their communicators.
Yeah.
I love this scene. They're all four talking together, and it's really serious and it's kind of dark, and it's really well done.
It's very good. It's very Star Trek. Is it City on the Edge of Forever that I'm remembering?
That's a different.
It's an episode of Star Trek.
I know. Sitting on the edge forever, they go to the 20s, and they have to kill this woman in order for everything to be fine.
Or she has to die.
Yeah.
They don't have to kill her, but yeah.
The killer must die.
Yeah, Edith. I can't remember who it is.
Keeler.
Edith Keeler. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Played by Joan Crawford.
Yeah.
No, not Joan. No, Joan Collins. Joan Collins. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that'd be waiting in line to kill Joan Crawford.
Right. Excuse me, Joan Collins.
Yeah.
Right.
And what a wonderful episode.
Yeah. Written by Harlan Ellison.
And he's mad about it, too. So
Of course, because...
it wasn't perfect.
Or they changed a little bit of it. It's like, dude, that's what happens when you work television. Or that's what happens when you have an editor.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to make tweaks.
Yeah.
That's why it's probably why his career in writing comic books is very spotty. You know, he did some here and there, not regularly, because Jesus, what editor wants to put up with the irascible Harlan Ellison?
Right.
You know, what a headache.
Okay, so they are going after this guy, and it's an abandoned warehouse.
Whoa, what?
You know, if I was the police, I'd have every abandoned warehouse guarded and then spied upon. So that's where you get everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Great group of Legionnaires here. I always like Mon-El and Shadowlass especially.
Yeah. Well, it's just cool. Big talons come out and they grab them, metallic talons, and it doesn't stop them.
Right.
And
there's some serious elaborate death traps that the Legionnaires find in this quote-unquote abandoned warehouse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Karate Kid does good. I don't know why I don't like him, because it's such a... karate's popular, so or martial art movies are popular, so let's put a karate guy in there, and it's so blatant, it's sort of transparent, but
it's on the nose. But I mean, he was a character that predated the kung fu craze. It wasn't until he'd been around in the 60s, but he got his own book in the 70s to capitalize on that trend.
Yeah.
He and Richard Dragon, Kung Fu Fighter, had their own books for a while. DC didn't really have a great go of it with the Kung Fu craze. Not like Marvel had with Master of Kung Fu, which ran for quite a time, and of course Iron Fist, who...
they're making a show now.
Well, yes, it already happened, but yeah, he's popular to this day.
Yeah, so they are kicking butt, and it's really cool.
Yep.
Hey, Superboy's here. Why is he here? Isn't he not supposed to be out?
You know what? I think that might be... It's supposed to be Mon-El, and they colored him wrong. Good catch.
Yeah. Okay. Man, I like the machinery.
Very good catch, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is Mon-El.
Yes, and then, of course, the Legionnaires are defeated and trapped, and it is revealed that the villain of the piece is the Time Trapper.
Yeah.
Who is, of course, one of their major foes. You know.
Superboy is watching this, and he says, I'm going to go to the end of time and conquer everything.
The Time Trapper says.
Yes, yeah. Superboy doesn't say that.
I'm like, wait a second. That doesn't sound like Superboy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, man. And cool machinery. I wish I could draw that.
Yeah. So, Chapter 4, Showdown at the end of the century.
Eternity.
Of eternity, excuse me.
I thought that too, and for the longest time. So.
For eternity.
And actually, I wrote it down that way, but it's eternity. I just noticed that.
Yeah. So we're back in looks like the 30th century. Starboy and Element Lad have been guarding the Legion clubhouse.
Yeah, and they're heavily armed.
Yes. Well, it's it's wartime and
I
stuff.
know, but that's something. Yeah, it's different. Seriously different. Because
Well-
I've never seen them have guns. Period.
Correct.
And they're cool.
It is something definitely very amiss. So the group of legionnaires that had gone back in time to the 20th century returns,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Superboy and Wildfire have strong words.
Yeah. Element Lad, hey, give us a password. I says, don't you know? I mean, I guess people could disguise themselves as a superhero.
Yeah.
But
Or hello, Durlans exist, and they're mistrusted throughout the galaxy.
mm-hmm.
Even though Chameleon Boy is in the Legion, they're still suspicious.
I would be. Wouldn't you? You date somebody, turns out to be an alien. That'd freak me out.
That happened to Johnny Storm. Remember, he thought he was married to Alicia Masters, but in reality, he was married to Elijah, the Skrull.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
this happened in the 1990s.
Oh, okay. After my time.
Yes.
Man, that'd tick me off.
Yeah, and he was pissed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love they show Wildfire and he's talking to Superboy, so you see Superboy's reflection in Wildfire's visor.
Yeah, I like that because Wildfire again doesn't have a real body. He wears a containment suit, and yeah, I do like that you see Superboy's reflection in his faceplate there.
Yeah, they're really mad. And, I love the Saturn girl's outfit, and it's really cool.
Yeah, she has a great tiara. She's still in her bridal gown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
Superboy almost clocks Wildfire.
Yeah.
But then the Saturn girl comes between them, and
yeah.
what happens there?
Yeah, and her telepathic powers reveal that both you believe what you say. So why not hold a meeting? So they do, and we get all the Legionnaires in a meeting.
All 23 active members are in the conference
and this
room.
rarely happens.
Yeah, apparently.
And the 30th century is different from ours. We'd be having meetings every week here.
Right.
Yeah, who's been stealing the toilet paper from the Legion bathroom? There'd be all kinds. So
yeah, well, they probably don't use toilet paper anymore. Remember the movie Demolition Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a huge controversy. What does the 3 shells mean? How do you use them?
Right.
Yeah. What a great movie.
Yeah, that is fun. I mean, I don't know if I would call it a great movie, but it is a fun movie.
It's a great movie. It's not a great film.
Okay, fine.
So, but didn't make any money.
Really?
According to studios.
Well.
Yeah, Stallone is suing them. So,
now?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so are the people from This Is Spinal Tap. Because that didn't make any money either.
But it's a huge cult hit. But I mean, after the fact. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't around to go see it in the
both
80s.
did well, and they're both. Spinal Tap was cheap to make.
Oh, sure.
Because it didn't hardly have anybody famous in it, and
not yet. Yeah.
Yeah, but Hollywood accounting is
dubious.
god awful.
Yeah. But anyway, back to our story. What's up with Dream Girl?
Yeah, she's lying in her bed again, so dreaming about something.
She has precognition in dreams.
Yeah. So she's okay. So, who is this? Saturn?
Saturn Girl.
Saturn Girl. She's changed her outfit
to her regular costume. Yeah.
She holds Dream Girl and Superboy. So together they determine where the end of time is, which is where the time trapper is.
Right. By reading Superboy's mind and Dream Girl's at the same time, she's able to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the Legionnaires formulate a plan.
Yeah, and so we're going to go to. Everybody's going to go to the end of time,
except for the time trapper.
Yeah.
They choose one Legionnaire at random through the computer, and Tyrock gets left behind.
Man, he looks so dejected. I feel sorry for him. Well, but he was left behind before.
Yeah. Here's the thing: Tyrock was created. The idea was, hey, let's create a Black Legionnaire, and they went about it all wrong. He's has a terrible costume. He has a terrible origin.
Not a very good superpower.
No, it's stupid. And it's really bad because it's like an angry black man whose power revolves around yelling. That's kind of not great.
No.
So they try to incorporate him, acknowledge that he is a part of the Legion, but write him out of the stories as much as possible because he was such an embarrassing idea.
Who is the other guy here?
Oh, that is Largand, not Largand. That's Monel. That's Monel's real name. It is Rond Vidar.
Okay.
Remember
All right.
Eclipso's
Yep,
son
yep,
and
yep,
friend
yep,
of the
yep,
Legion? Okay.
Okay. So they go, and the end of time is on Earth. And
Well, the end of time is going to exist everywhere. at
but
a
it's
certain
also
time.
a place as well as a time
Yeah. Well, and
in
also
this comic book.
right, and historically, as Legion stories tend to be told, time is treated like a place. The future is a place. Because they'll have a story where they're traveling back in time, like, oh no, we have to hurry to get back in time to da da da. It's like, you have a time machine. You can arrive at any moment. You can arrive the moment you left,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
moments after.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
time is treated like a destination rather than
Yeah, so they go to Earth at the end of time, and it's really desolate. It's still better than Earth in the 70s. Let's see. So they go to the villain's hideout. Not the best, but so it's made out of some kind of material they've never seen before. So Shadow Lass goes in, and then Element Lad, he's never seen
No,
this
that's not
Element.
Shadow Lass. That's Phantom Girl.
Phantom Girl, excuse me.
I did it too earlier. So,
Okay.
and then Shrinking Violet finds a hole in the wall and shrinks down and goes through.
Yeah, Element Lad, I mean, it blasts him. I mean, well, it wears him out, so he faints.
Yeah, because that's right. He creates a hole in the wall
Mm-hmm.
with his powers, and Shrinking Violet goes through. And
So she screams on the other side.
yeah, not a good sign.
Yeah.
But
So
actually, she's fine. She's just captured immediately, as is Phantom
oh,
Girl.
that's not fine.
Well, she's not dead. That's what I
Okay,
mean.
All right.
Not dead
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to say. But she and Phantom Girl are captured.
Mm-hmm.
But Colossal Boy, along with Mon-El, Superboy, Wildfire, Karate Kid, and Ultra Boy. So a lot of the big guns of the Legion.
Oh man, this is a cool panel.
The
They
big
just
guns of the
blast.
Legion plus Karate Kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bust through. But
Yeah.
then, no, everybody's there, really, because then there's Timberwolf doing flips and
Mhm.
knocking over stuff, and Lightning Lad is there,
Yeah.
as is Light Lass and Starboy. Light Lass makes things lighter, and Starboy makes things heavy, so they are able to destroy the Time Trapper's, apparatus he's using that's keeping Phantom Girl and Shrinking Violet captive.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool. Yeah, I love the Colossal Boy is back there, and you see all the regular size heroes in front of them coming in. I didn't notice them because they're so small there. And
Yeah, I like Colossal Boy too.
that's a good fight.
Yeah.
And Time Trapper says you don't cease your interference, they'll both be dead instantly.
Yeah. So I take that back. They destroyed some of his apparatus. They didn't destroy the thing that was keeping Shrinking Violet and Phantom Girl captive.
Yeah. So
Wildfire talks some smack.
Yeah, it doesn't work. So
So then the Time Trapper, he captures the Legionnaire and starts monologuing.
yeah.
He reveals that he is a controller, part of an alien race that are normally good guys.
Yeah.
But he's evil, and he wants to destroy the Legion. And it's revealed that...
One of his disciples made the Sun Eater.
correct. And the Sun Eater, of course, was the creature that, eats suns. And it is the monster that Pharaoh Lad died in action to save the galaxy or whatever from...
Yeah. So let's see. So Time Trapper gets in trouble because he wants to conquer everything, and the other controllers don't want to do that. Although they're all called controllers, so that's kind of
Yeah. Well, control does not necessarily mean conquer. And what do they mean by control? Do they control people, or do they control their selves? Are they like Vulcans?
Yeah. I guess they could call themselves happy fun guys, but so
This is serious.
okay. So the Time Trapper,
Yeah.
Uses the Miracle Machine.
That's
what
what's
about that
really
being
called.
serious? Yeah, it's called a Miracle Machine.
Oh man.
Which is taken from the secure facilities at the Legion. Man, they get ripped off more than the local Stop and Rob does. Oh. So that the Legion is trapped in a force field.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get out.
And they can't.
Yeah. Not even Karate Kid.
Wow.
So-
Yeah, so the Time Trapper, like other controllers, he has this jewel in his forehead that he does, I don't know, something with,
Yeah.
superpowery with.
So that he makes this kind of blob or green or beam or something is
Of
coming
energy.
towards him. Yeah. And thought energy. And no shield can protect us.
Oh, dang.
So, so Superboy says, all right, Legionnaires, concentrate. Direct your thoughts at the Miracle Machine. And maybe we can turn that... Oh, my God, they say damn.
Yep.
Wow. It is the 70s.
Yeah.
The damn thing back. And so
Let me look at it.
a tendril is coming towards him, and it turns back towards Time Trapper as they fight and fight. But the good guys win because they're good guys.
Yeah.
Um,
So all that psychic energy feedback or whatever works,
mhm.
and it takes out the Time Trapper.
Although there's also more of them too, so that might be it.
Because there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, but I don't know. Good versus evil. Evil thoughts, I think, are stronger than good thoughts a lot of times.
I don't know. Also, they're mad. Maybe they're just directing it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's best not to dwell on this.
Okay. So, they win, yay! And they
Yeah.
come back, and everything's cool. No war.
It undoes all of the Time Trappers meddling in time.
Hmm.
So the UN wasn't disbanded. I don't know why that undoes everything.
The UN?
Is it because they defeated him at the end of time, and so
Yeah. I guess.
What? All right.
Because he's controlling the history. So when
Right.
he stops controlling it, it goes back to normal. Maybe.
Wow,
Don't
that
not
doesn't
know.
seem like it would work. But okay.
Oh, yeah.
So the Legionnaires go back to 30th century,
Mhm.
and everything's hunky dory.
Yeah. All right. And the two people, Tyrock and
Ron Vidar.
they sing, "Hey, you're back. I don't know what you were doing, but I'm glad you're back." And they don't know anything about it.
Right.
Man, Tyrock doesn't even say anything.
Right. Good
Ah.
point. And Superboy and Wildfire make up,
Yeah.
and they're friends again.
Oh, he said, yeah. Wildfire says, we've had our differences, but after today, anyone who says you're not the greatest is going to answer to me. And
I like that.
Wildfire, coming from you, that's almost leaves me speechless. Thank you, friend. I like that.
Yeah. And so then the Legionnaires bid fond farewell to Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl, who are off to their honeymoon, their much delayed honeymoon.
Yeah, and we're late for our honeymoon, and that's no way to start a marriage. So they go off and consummate their marriage. So
Very
that's,
nice.
yeah, not a bad issue. It's pretty
Yeah,
fun.
I like that story.
But wait, there's more.
There is. We have a backup feature. It's called The Origins and Powers of the Legionnaires, written by Paul Levitz, penciled by James Sherman, the guy who followed up, who took over art on the Legion after Mike Grell, and inked by Jack Abel. And so we go through the origins and power sets of the Legionnaires.
Here's the first three. Oh,
Lightning Lad, Cosmic Boy, and Saturn Girl.
yeah. Ooh, Cosmic Boy's outfit. Man, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, his 70s costume is pretty terrible. We've talked about that
Yeah.
already, though.
Okay, we got a picture of them fighting. Who is this guy? The bad guy. He looks like a monkey.
I've never seen him before. I think it's probably just a something made up for that
Nice.
page.
He intrigues me.
Right.
Okay, next we get Triplicate Girl and Phantom Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I always like Triplicate. I like both of them. I think they have neat, fun powers.
Yeah, I especially like Phantom Girl and the walking through walls. And
Yeah.
she's a great character. I think she's
And I think that Bouncing Boy is very, very lucky.
to be married to Duo Damsel,
Yeah.
the former Triplica girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chameleon Boy. Man, those shoulders. Man, he's got this vest with shoulders. Ugh. But
Well, here's the thing. That costume was an update designed by Dave Cockrum, who did a lot of those vests with the pointed shoulder things in the X-Men, Colossus and Nightcrawler. And both of them. So he was big on that kind of adding that kind of flair to a costume.
Yeah. But in the 80s, women had shoulder pads to make them look more imposing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Ugh.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, but yeah, he's cool. I always liked Chameleon Boy.
Yeah.
What was his companion?
Oh, Prody.
Yeah, Prody was cool too.
Yeah.
Colossal Boy, he's a I don't like his boots, but he's pretty cool. But
Okay.
yeah, I've got Superboy, Supergirl. They're great. My favorite Legionnaire is Brainiac 5. Him being so brilliant, he's the only one who wears something practical.
Right. He basically wears a jumpsuit, boots, belt.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
It's very
And he's rocking it.
and it's very fitting for a guy who spend a lot of time in a lab, science lab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it'd be very fitting for someone fighting evil, you know?
Sure.
Oh, Ultra Boy, really cool powers. Well, he's got a bunch of cool powers, but only one at a time.
Right.
But,
He basically has the same power sets as Superboy and Mon-El and Supergirl, but he can only use one power at a time. Which makes the flight ring extra handy for him because he never has to use his own flight power.
Yeah.
He can use one. So basically, he can use that and another power at once, which is great.
Yeah. His uniform's pretty cool. I don't like his boots or that goofy symbol he has on his chest, but hey.
Oh, well, I like that, but that's me.
Okay, yeah. Your mileage may vary.
Yes.
Starboy, I like his outfit. That's pretty cool. He looks like stars. So,
Yeah, it's a neat costume.
All right. Shrinking Violet. She is shrinking in front of a crew of people.
Yeah.
And they're dressed, I don't know. I wonder if they were, you know, the comic book artists, they draw stuff. Hey, why don't we use this? And I wonder if these are the rejects, some of these outfits.
I don't know.
Yeah. There's a girl who has capri pants with jodhpurs, and this other girl wearing hot pants. She looks, she could probably get around in the 70s without causing much fuss.
Right.
But Shrinking Violet, I wonder if these clothes are their regular clothes, because the other people, these bystanders, are dressed just as outlandishly.
All right, and this is 30th century, like, fashion be different.
Yeah. We got an American Indian with a mohawk, and he's looking on Shrinking Violet shrinking with dismay. African American girl with the afro, and an African American male who is he's blasé about it. Yep, I see people shrinking every day. He's got a great expression on his face.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, he has a better outfit than Tyrock, except for that.
Well, doesn't everyone?
Yeah, some of that fat Albert. What's the?
It looks like Mushmouth's hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good.
Or is it Rudy? Or is it? He had a fluffy hat too.
Maybe I'm thinking of that character.
Yeah.
No, Rudy was the guy who with the ski mask.
Is it?
Pretty sure.
Wow, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyway, it doesn't.
That's
really matter.
cool. Yeah. Sunboy.
We
Cool outfit.
we have a picture of him melting a girder with his powers. I think that's fun.
He looks mad. Yeah.
I love how in the 80s they characterized him as a real kind of jerk who was really full of himself.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. He's got such a happy name though. Sunboy. Yay.
Yeah.
Man. Yay, Bouncing Boy. Man, he looks crazy mad.
yeah, and of course he's inflated and bouncing around.
And looks like he's fatter than normal.
Well, because he inflates.
I know he inflates, but I guess it's been a while since I've seen him inflated.
Yeah, we haven't really covered a lot of stories where he's actually in them. We just talked about him.
Yeah, we saw his origin story.
Yeah, I mean, but we've been covering Legion stories where he's not an active participant.
Yeah. Monel's cool looking.
Yeah, he's got all the powers of Superboy and none of his weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. No, isn't he? He's allergic to something that they have to have a serum.
Lead, but he has this. He's taken this serum that's eliminated his weakness to lead, so he's gold.
Yeah. Hey, matter eater lad.
Yeah, great costume, dumb power.
Yeah, he looks so very determined and dramatic. I'm eating these iron bars, and
Yeah, the panel has him in a cage and he's eating his way out of it. Very cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I like him just on the strength of his costume.
I like his costume, and I like the absurdity of his superpower.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We have a picture of Element Lad in a costume that I've never seen him in before or since.
It looks like it was drawn by Jack Kirby.
It really does.
Yeah, man, I hate his hair though. But
Yeah, he's got the Farrah flip going on.
Yeah. All right, Light Lass, pretty cool. And
Yeah. Now, the thing with Light Lass that's weird is she started out with the same powers as Lightning Lad, but then something, and I forget what it is, changed her powers, so she makes things light.
yeah, that's very specific. You know?
Well, it's just like Starboy makes things heavy, so the two
Yeah.
of them together are really a powerful duo.
Yeah.
They could really cause some problems for villains.
Yeah.
Dream Girl, of course, who just
Does she do anything but sleep?
actually she's one of the better hand-to-hand combatants of the Legion.
Yeah.
She's gone through combat training, but yeah, like her power is precogs and in dreaming. So yeah,
Why did she just wear pajamas all the time? I was thinking, something comfortable.
that's funny.
Okay, Princess Projectra. I like her outfit.
Yeah, she's a princess from the planet Orando, and Orando is still in a feudal. It looks like medieval Earth,
Yeah.
like Europe.
Mm-hmm. And she's a princess.
Yeah, and of course she chose as her consort Karate Kid.
Yeah, who's a millionaire. Man, they stick together, don't they?
I never remembered the millionaire part, but he was trained by a former superhero who was very
Oh,
obscure.
you know what? I might be totally wrong. She's the only Royal Legionnaire, and she's the richest. Okay, I thought they were talking about Karate Kid.
Yeah,
so I'm wrong.
they share that panel. I was like, I saw that in your notes, I was like, what the heck? I don't remember that ever. But yeah, he's the bestest there is at the karate and the martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow Lass, of course, who creates shadows and things.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I didn't think I'd say this, but put some clothes on, girl.
Yeah, she has a pretty skimpy costume from the 70s forward.
For any time.
Well, her Silver Age costume is pretty modest.
Yeah. I don't mind a little bit, but you try too hard, it looks bad. So
Yeah. I think it's a good design. I enjoy it. It's visually appealing. So, but on to Timberwolf.
yeah. I don't like Timberwolf's okay. I haven't read much of them. Don't like the color composition. I don't like that wolf's head, but
As the chest emblem.
yeah.
I do like it, but
Your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
So super acrobatics, that can be useful
sure.
and pretty cool.
Of course, there's Wildfire.
Yeah, it looks like he watched some Iron Man movies. Something very Iron Man-like.
Well, yeah, except that his containment suit isn't like armor.
Right.
I
I'm
mean,
talking about
it's-
the appearance. I'm not
Yeah,
talking about
the helmet and stuff.
and the boots and every the
Yes.
color scheme, very Iron Man-like. I just noticed it last night. Wow. But he's a fun character, kind of a jerk,
Yeah.
and jerks are interesting.
Yeah.
And they can be too jerky, and I'm out of here. But he's got a good heart.
Yeah.
Oh, Tyrock. Well,
No.
if you can't say something nice,
You've said all kinds of bad things already.
I know, but
Tyrock is bad. Yeah, he has screaming powers.
yeah,
Let's talk about Dawnstar.
yeah. Looks nice.
She flies through outer space, has tracking powers. Yay. And I love the wings. That's fun.
Yeah.
There's a nice panel spotlighting the three Legionnaires who fell in battle.
I really do like this part of it.
Yeah.
Legion.
You want to talk about it a little bit?
I don't know. It shows that events happen, people die. It makes things more dangerous. Hey,
Yeah.
one of the Legionnaires can die.
Yeah, and it adds a level of prestige to the Legion of Superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these guys, they really put their lives on the line.
Yeah, I mean,
for the
they dress in goofy
planets.
costumes and fly around in the future, but yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
and
I think that's important because it would be far too easy to fall into a trap of everything being very easy and not have a lot of challenge or adversity for the Legion of Superheroes, and the fact that this is risky business and people do die in the line of duty. I think that's an important element.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite things. So
Yeah.
it's about the
Legion Reservists,
Yay.
honorary Legionnaire. Excuse me, Pete Ross from Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he an honorary Legionnaire?
He helped the Legion somehow, and he knows who Superboy is.
Right.
And that sounded kind of. I think they want to put a regular person in the Legion or honorary Legion, and Pete Ross is an everyman.
Sure. Jimmy Olsen, who as Elastic Lad became an honorary Legionnaire.
Man,
Honorary because his power doesn't come from within. He takes a serum and he gets stretchy powers.
Oh man, Jimmy looks like a wrestler who's going out for dinner or something.
Yeah, he is far more cut than you would think Jimmy Olsen would be.
And his outfit, he looks like man, I like nerdy Jimmy Olsen.
Right.
Hey, Lana Lang.
Lana Lang, the Insect Queen.
Yeah. Okay, Ron Vidar. He
Yeah.
looks like Prince here.
He kind of does.
Yeah.
And of course, Kid Psycho.
Yeah, with a name like Kid Psych, that sounds like a villain's name.
It does.
And
But it's because he has psychokinetic powers. And
yeah,
blah, blah,
Kid
blah.
Psychic would be better, I think.
Yeah, but it's not about reading minds or predicting the future. It's whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. And then we have a bit on the Legion of Substitute Heroes.
Yeah. Polar Boy. Okay. Who else? It's
Stone Boy.
Yeah. Polar Boy should lose a hat. Stone Boy. Okay. He looks serious.
Night
looks
Girl.
kind of stone. Night Girl. I like her outfit.
Yeah, and she goes with Cosmic Boy.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else is there? Let's see. Color Kid. He looks fabulous. And Chlorophyll Lad is
Chlorophyll Kid. You had it right the first time.
Oh, he is reading How to Grow Plants book, and doesn't he know? Or did he write this book? I don't know.
There are a lot of unanswered questions about this, or maybe he's just like he knows it, but it's a favorite subject of his, and so he's just reading it.
Yeah.
And then there's Fire Lad also.
It looks like he's really mischievous.
Yeah, he's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Legion of Substitute Heroes.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're gonna have an episode coming up. I'm not sure exactly when. That will feature. That will all be all about the subs.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And so we get Secrets of the Legion.
It's a one-pager, yeah.
Yeah. So we got a billionaire sponsor of the Legion, and they're given the headquarters is a gift from the United Planets. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, the Super Legion ring that can
Yeah.
make the flight ring, which will make them fly.
And I forgot that they also have this is spotlighting some of their elements of the Legion that maybe weren't covered in the rest of the story here. They also have telepathic plugs so that they can have like some heroes will have a comm link.
Right. Mhm.
Well, they can have a mind link. So Saturn Girl can,
Yeah.
well, and all of them can communicate with each other.
Yeah, she doesn't need that, but she does wear their standard issue transparent spacesuits and helmets.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's cool. So we can see how good they look in their outfits.
Yeah.
Or how bad they look in their outfits. Right. The Legion Cruiser.
We've established how much disdain you hold for it.
Right. And we have the 30th Century History huge book.
Yeah.
And which is and there's a bunch of pages behind there. And this is just a little bit of the history of the Legion. So keep reading, kids. And
Yeah.
you'll learn more.
Yeah, so that's pretty fun. We also have, on the inside back cover, we have some text pieces just talking about the creative people who work behind this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to really get over that, but overall, what do you think of this issue?
I had fun.
Yeah,
I don't like the villain. I've never seen him before, but I know he's been there. He's a recurring character. There's nothing much to him except he's mean. He's got calm powers.
At this point, he's not particularly that interesting. I'll give you that. The level of menace that the Time Trapper represents comes to greater fruition in the 1980s. Down the line, you and I will discuss a storyline that is particularly potent Time Trapper story. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Although if I never read a comic book before, he'd be pretty good. But I've seen the Time Trapper type people so many times. He's just generic villain for me right here.
Well, he gets more complicated because throughout the Legion's history, different people end up being revealed as the Time Trapper, which makes him all the more mysterious.
Yeah.
But yeah. So overall, hey, fun issue, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, and it's really, really big, and it's great. Oh, man. Beautiful and well drawn. Good story.
Yeah, very, very great. It's really standout work by Mike Grell and Paul Levitz as a writer.
And I like that we see all the Legionnaires and
with
all of them do stuff, even though one of them stays back and minds the store while everyone else is gone.
Right. But before we sign off, Jeff, I want to announce. I want to do a little bit of house cleaning and also announce a new contest, a new giveaway.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I've been alluding to changing the format of this show. Following episode 300, the show will be a monthly with a different guest host. Mm-hmm. And then periodically throughout the year, you and I will come for short bursts of weekly shows.
Okay.
So it's just for me to spend more time on research, and I think we'll have higher quality output, even though we will be producing fewer episodes. But we're not pod fading, so please don't delete us from your feeds, folks. And the contest I'm announcing, one winner will be selected and announced on episode 300 in June. Mm-hmm. But starting right now, drop us an email, leave us an iTunes review, email us at comic.reflections@gmail.com. You're on the honor system with the iTunes reviews, but I'll see that people are leaving them. But drop us a line, give us your contact information or your shipping information, and one winner will be eligible to win 2 DVDs of Wolverine motion comics. One is Wolverine Origin, the other is Wolverine vs. Sabretooth. And along with that prize, you also get a big pile of comic book store promo posters, mostly from Marvel, various Marvel series. It's too many for me to list off the top of my head, but that's the big prize. Leave us some iTunes reviews. You'll be entered to win, and one lucky person will get the goodies. This has been Comic Reflections. Until next time.
Long live the Legion.
$229 different characters spanning the galaxies of the Legion of Superheroes, presented across 7 comic book issues. A new miniseries as part of the Who's Who podcast. To handle this many characters, the irredeemable Shag is bringing in a ringer, or maybe we should call them flight ringers.
Who's Who in the Legion of
Who's
Superheroes?
Who in the Legion of
Who's Who in the Legion of Superheroes?
The Legion of Superheroes.
in the Legion of Superheroes.
The Legion of Superbloggers team up to present Who's Who in the Legion of Superheroes, a 3-episode miniseries in 2017, part of the Who's Who podcast on the Fire and Water Podcast Network. Long live the Legion.
Warlord Worlds, a fan podcast devoted to the comic creations of Mike Grell, including Warlord, John Sable, Starslayer, Shaman's Tears, and Green Arrow. I'm Darren.
And I'm Ruth. We hope you'll join us as we discuss the stories, characters, and art in the many excellent comics from writer and artist Mike Grell.
Warlord Worlds is available at podbean.com and on iTunes and Stitcher.
Find us at warlordworlds.com.